Look, a ghost showed up. Your melodrama is thick enough to cut, Crow. You really think leaving a calling card of feathers and dead flowers is the most efficient way to deliver judgment? Before you bleed that sorrow everywhere, tell me, what's the fundamental difference between my manufactured fear and the cold, eternal terror felt by someone who knows a brute tyrant like Darkseid is coming for them?
Darkseid's fear is just conquest. The real terror is unavoidable justice, Doctor, and it demands retribution. It's the cold, hard knowledge that the dead is due and nothing stops it. Not escape, not money, not science. My fear is that absolute, crushing certainty of payment, delivered by a will that is beyond your pitiful little chemicals and syringes.
I worry about the exquisite agony of control snapping. Imagine a calculating genius like Lex Luthor suddenly realizing his perfect plan is dissolving because of one tiny, sentimental flaw. That complete mental collapse, the loss of his intellectual superiority. That is the breakdown I aim to capture and bottle.
Luthor's fear is just brittle ego. The primal fear is powerlessness. It's the moment you watch your whole world die, like that young hero Spider, man after his Uncle Ben was killed, and you realize your own strength was absolutely meaningless. My fear is the ultimate consequence of that failure, delivered directly to the wicked.
Failure is for weaklings. The most delicious fear is self-betrayal. I make a man realize he'd sacrifice anyone, even the only person he loves, just to save his own miserable skin. What is the ethical difference, Crow, between forcing that choice and simply executing the person who makes it?
You always struck me as a coward, relying on a gas mask to feel brave enough. I am the knowledge that your sin has a paper trail leading straight to beings like Mephisto. That's a terror you can't inhale.
Your eternal judgment is a weak threat. I prefer the fear of absolute randomness. That maniac who laughs while burning money understands it. The panic that comes when the universe loses all rules. My gas creates that chaotic state instantly, where logic and safety vanish without a trace. Doesn't that lack of reason thrill you too?
I strip away the delusion and force the guilty to look at what they destroyed. If you had my power, would you simply use your toxin to make a mass murderer feel the collective grief of a planet, like the one Goku saved?
I rely on measurable clinical panic, the way a powerful figure loses his ability because his courage fails. It's a verifiable biological truth, not your spooky spiritual guess, and I can replicate that exact mental collapse in a sterile flask with perfect efficiency.
Your measurements only track the symptoms, not the disease itself. The true disease is the lack of justice. My fear is the terror of the hunter becoming the prey, the physical consequence of their moral bankruptcy. And that is a kind of fear no simple serum can ever mimic or cure.
I may be a scientist, but I have control. I choose the fear, the dosage, and the duration, unlike your unpredictable vendetta. You are merely a puppet of fate and emotional reaction. My precise, intellectual application of dread is what makes my fear the definitive weapon against the human mind.
Control is an illusion for anyone who has to breathe. I am a creature of eternal reckoning. I am the consequence that never fades, a promise that outlives any living scientist or any of your chemicals. You deal in the fear of dying. I deal in the fear of what comes after it, the inescapable finality. Goodbye, Doctor. I know that last sentence will sting you for a while.